Yeah, my crutch is Taylor Swift. So I started listening to Taylor Swift like when I was in high school. It kind of became part of like my journey. So it's like a stamp, like a timeline stamp. Mm-hmm. Because when I actually recently went to the Taylor Swift concert, the Eras tour, and like watching that tour, it made me kind of just like realize everything I've been through. Like I use Taylor Swift as a crutch to get through all those hard times and all the good times too. That's why I went on the Eras tour, just so I could like kind of like, it's like an era to end all eras. Because I feel like I'm going through a growth era. I have to kind of like let go of some part of myself to kind of grow part of myself, like add to myself.
Wait,
I don't know
does
if that makes
you're
sense.
graduating from Taylor Swift now?
Yeah, I'm pretty much.
No, it doesn't have to mean that.
I'm pretty much. I think I'm putting the camera down. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting the camera down. I'm
Is that what it?
being more involved in life.
A time when we use something as a crutch.
Hi, welcome to the Memory Club podcast. We're like a book club, but we share our memories instead. Hi, I'm Vit.
Hi, my name is James.
Hi, I'm Diana.
And today we're kind of doing something different. It's episode 12. We're changing up like the format, and it's also a guest episode. So yeah, Lychee, It's nice to have you back.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
Yeah. Just so that there's no confusion, like her name is Diana, but then like her nickname with like as a friend group is we call her Lychee. So yeah, we just kind of refer to her as Lychee. So don't be confused by it.
Hi, I'm Lychee.
Yeah.
So again, we're doing like a different setup. This time we're going to talk about our TMI, but then also we're going to dive into more of a analysis of a video. And it's the band New Jeans, or a K-pop group New Jeans. So if you guys are into them, we're going to analyze their videos. And yeah, let's start off with our TMI though.
So today's TMI is gonna be your favorite pickup line, or like your go-to like a opening line that you say to opposite gender or the person that you want to like talk to romantically.
Wait, so is it like, for Lychee, would it be like something like she would use, or is it something like she would want to be?
It can be, I think it can be either or for her.
Okay.
It's something like she has heard before that she was like, ooh, I kind of like that, or something she would say to like that she would say to a guy.
Okay.
Yeah. So, why don't you go first, Viet?
I think mine's kind of cheesy. I usually use the like a.
Wait,
line.
are you gonna say it to us, like you're trying to do it on us, and then we rate it? Or
Do you want me to? I could.
Let's hear it.
It's kind of cheesy though. It's so cheesy.
Don't change your facial expression, James.
So I usually say something along the lines of, if I like see them smile or something, I usually compliment their smile. So I would usually be like, oh, that's a really good smile, and it probably lights up the whole town. Like that's like my go-to thing. But I know it's like super cheesy, but I usually tailor it to whatever we're talking about. And I usually don't use pickup lines, to be honest. Honestly,
pickup lines are kind of hard.
That's not usually my thing, but if I were to use one, that's something.
Would that work on you, Lychee?
I think pickup lines, a lot of it's delivery, so maybe.
Okay,
I'm not gonna say no. I think
Okay.
I've heard more context for it, so then I already laugh at it. But it could work. I think if you slid that in a conversation and you seemed really sincere about it, I think it could work. So
yeah. So like if we were talking about like her future plans or something, I'll be like, oh, your future seems bright, but like, you know what's brighter? That smile. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like something stupid like that. You know what I'm saying? You
damn, it's so bright outside, just like your smile.
Yeah, like, oh wow, it's like such a bright day. You know what I'm saying? Like something like that, along the lines of that. So it's hella cheesy, but like again, I don't use pickup lines.
Oh, that could be kind of cute too, though.
Have you used it and it worked? Like, have you used it and it worked like in the past?
I think yeah. I used it like probably when I was younger, and it used to work a lot. But now I don't use pickup lines. Again, I just talk about like random things that I'm interested in. Yeah, just
talk about stuff like, do you believe in Jesus Christ?
What?
No, that's like
is that what you guys slip in as the first line?
That's like a random shit that people used to use back in.
All right, James.
That was actually okay. Got it.
James, what about you? What's
me? This is something I've watched before and then I've tried it. It kind of works and kind of doesn't.
Oh, you tried some? Okay.
I've tried it.
Oh, wait, do it to us. Do it to us first. Don't explain it. Just do it.
No, it's like something like I ask a question that you would ask like a stranger, right?
Ask me the question.
I would
ask me the question.
I would be like, oh, hi, miss. Like, do you know how to do you know what time the bus is coming, or like, do you know like where the nearest Starbucks is? And then they'll be like, oh, blah 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 blah, and I'll be like, actually, like, I don't actually need to know these things. I just thought you were really cute and I wanted to come talk to you. So that's what I used to say.
I feel like that work? Did that work like
Let me try to think about it if a guy did this. I mean, I think I would appreciate that they're being direct, like they're being honest. Like I don't need anything. I'm just interested in you. Mm-hmm. And maybe having that familiarity of having had a conversation with each other, maybe the woman's guard will be more down and it won't be just like, hi, you're cute. Can I get your number? Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like eased in. So I kind of see that bridge actually. So that actually might be it's not bad from what I'm thinking about, but yeah.
Do you like it? Do you like it when someone gets straight to a point, or do you like a little bit of finesse? Or I'm not sure what you.
I'm guessing all girls are different. I think for me, super direct might be a little too much, especially if that's the first words I've heard from the person. Mm-hmm. I just yeah, that's not for me.
So if I approach you, I'd be
some girls I think really like that. So it's
if I'd be like, yo, DTF, then you're gonna be like, no.
James.
Oh,
what, do you want me to be like, yeah, that one works on me. That's the best one.
Yeah, that's it.
Why does it have to be that exact thing?
Alright, see guys, DTF doesn't work. I asked for you guys. Not for me, you know. Asking for a friend.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
What about you? Well, have you ever like approached a guy before?
No, I've never. The only thing I do, because I don't have moves, is to make eye contact, and when they look away and hope that they realize that I'm.
Oh, that's I feel like a lot of girls.
Yeah, that's like every girl's move.
Yeah,
it's like their move.
I'm sure a lot of the girls in the chat, please tell.
Okay, but then for the guys though, how do they distinguish between like our eyes met between a girl and me? How do I know that she's looking at me like because she's waiting for me to talk to her? Or she was just like happened to look this way and our eyes happened to meet.
Girls are worrying the same thing. Like, oh, did he look at me because I keep looking at him? Or is he actually interested?
Okay, so only one way to find out is just go talk to them.
Wait, so how long do you look at a person? Do you like intensely stare at them or like...
Oh, I think it just depends how confident I'm feeling.
I see.
It's just down to my confidence. If I'm really not... The less confident I am, the more sneaky the glances are. But the more forward, that I want to be, like the more I will try to get caught, basically.
Like she's giving him like 0.5 second chance to look back.
Honestly, yeah, in my head, I'm like, oh my god, I just looked super long, but it's probably like 0.5, like you said. Like, I snapped my head back, but to me, we, like, made too long of eye contact or
Next time I see, like, she's, like, staring at someone
0%
for 0.5 seconds.
success rate, FYI.
If I see her look at someone for 0.5 seconds, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna go up to the guy. Hey, she's
oh
into
god,
you,
now
bro.
I can't look at anyone ever again.
She's into you.
Yeah.
It's a secret glance, James.
Wait, so what's your like kind of pickup line then?
I mean, I can't really think of any off the top of my head, but I did like Google pickup lines, and
She did.
I
She was
just
telling
really
me some of
think-
this, and I was like, oh my goodness.
I wish I could have seen James's face when I was reading. I think he only laughed at 2 that I mentioned.
What were they? Like, there's a lot of sexual ones.
Yeah, it seems, I mean, Reddit. I just Googled and then opened a few Reddit threads. One of them that I remember, but I not saying it's good, but I find it kind of funny in a cheesy
That means
way.
it is good.
Okay, well, I guess it would work on me, but I'm not saying this is like a good, like, this is not recommended. Just
Okay.
personally, it
Uh-huh.
fit my humor. It was, no, oh my god, just thinking about it's cringy. It's just, if you were a fruit, you'd be a pineapple. Like, it's only
What? What? Okay, yeah, I would never use that. So definitely.
But it's like, it's so cringy that you like, it's funny almost because you already know that it's cringe. Like, both people know it's cringy. Like, those kind of lines. Like, it's kind of like similar to the, did you fall, did it hurt when you
I think
fell
it
from
has to
heaven
be
kind of
executed in a way that's like, yeah, I'm being dorky as fuck with this.
Yeah. Not like greasy.
Not like I'm serious about it.
Yeah, not like,
Yeah.
oh, baby, if you were a fruit, like, it has to be,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
execution.
I think it's the execution. Yeah, you're right. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah, it has to
honestly,
be, like,
honestly, I feel like if you just like kind of just like mess around with it and like just be playful with it and not be like too serious, I think honestly
Yeah.
most pickup lines probably might be okay.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Wait, James, you were telling me you text me like a pickup line or something, and I didn't understand it. You said something about like tripping and falling or something. What was it?
Oh, no. So the whole reason why I said we're gonna use this as a TMI
Oh,
Okay.
is because the topic that we're gonna be talking about today is when we use something as a crutch.
Oh, gotcha.
And so
Okay.
and I see on Hinge or like a lot of dating apps all the time where the girls are like, I'll fall for you if you trip me. And so
honestly, if I never heard that one before, I actually think that's really cute.
yeah.
Wait,
When I
I'll
saw
fall?
it for the first time,
Yeah.
no, when I
can see
saw it
why
for the
it's
fall
used so
first
much.
time, I was like,
Yeah.
okay, maybe I will trip you.
Yeah,
know?
like if you've only ever seen it once, then it's actually kind of
Yeah,
fun.
if you only see it, like when I saw it for the
Yeah.
first time, I was like, okay, that's kind of cute.
Wait, I don't get
I
it.
saw it.
What does it mean? Like, if you trip me?
Yeah, so it's
I'll
supposed to be
fall if you trip
metaphorical,
me.
but then they're
Yeah.
saying like literally you trip me, I'll fall
I
for
get
you.
it. Okay.
Yeah, they're mixing the two.
Okay, I get it now. Okay.
Yeah.
I do like it, but if it's like
Dude,
everyone
maybe
uses
that
it-
is the move. Next time I see a cute girl, I just trip her, and she's gonna be like, "What the fuck?" I'm gonna be like,
You're like,
"You fall for me yet?"
If you said that in person, I think that might be really cute. What the fuck? Not like that, James. What the hell?
No. Yeah,
Wait, I
I'm
actually
kidding.
haven't
Actually-
seen this.
But actually, execution, that still might work. Do you ever see, like, online, like, TikTok, the Riz compilations? Like,
Yeah.
if you tripped her and then you caught her and did that, like, tango move, like, if you executed that
That's
well,
kind of
that might
crazy.
be,
That's
like,
like for a
extra
stranger.
Riz, you
That's
know?
kind of crazy,
No,
though.
for a stranger.
And you have
I
to
don't
be
know,
hella
if you did it
coordinated.
right,
You know what? Might as well have my friend play some like cute romantic background music, and our eyes meet as I pick her up.
Wait, honestly, if someone did that on the streets, like they played like K-drama music, I don't know, it might just be like that actually might be cute. Like, damn, you tried all of this just to,
That'd be fun. But yes, I was saying, because like I've seen that line as a pickup line, I suppose, and like in dating apps, it's like you fall, and what do you do when you fall? You hurt your leg, and what do you do when you hurt your leg? You use a crutch, and it relates to our topic.
Okay, I get it now.
a time when we
I
were
get it, I
on
get it, I
crutches.
get it.
That's what I meant.
But yeah, so that is today's topic.
Okay.
When we use something as a crutch.
Yeah, so again, we are changing up our kind of a style of like the Memory Club podcast. So now we're going to kind of introduce a pop culture kind of like entity or like idea. So we're going to analyze this pop culture like music video. And then we're going to add our memories to it. So it's a little bit different, but I think it's kind of more relatable, and it like ties everything in together with the themes and everything like that. So yeah, let's get started. I'm just going to kind of go briefly throughout the video and
just give a brief summary of the video.
Yeah. So then we'll go with that, and then you guys could add any notes or any comments too as we're going to. So this video is it starts out with so New Jeans has 5 members, right? And in the video, it's New Jeans, the Ditto video. It starts out with a girl, and she puts a tape in, and she's watching like a video, but then she's recording. So she's recording. It's the 6th member of New Jeans. So she's recording New Jeans, right? They're dancing. They're kind of like just walking around, like doing school activities, having fun, laughing, putting on makeup, things like that, right? And she's like filming them. She's filming them, but she's not really like participating in, you know, the activities. She's just filming them. She's just like watching them, right? And as the video goes on, there's kind of a guy, like, I'm not sure if it's a love interest or whatever, but she kind of pans over and starts recording him a little bit. So like the tension is off of New Jeans a little bit.
Right.
And then it keeps going and going, and there's like this super rainy day. It's like the K-drama rain, you know what I'm saying? Like super rainy. And this day, she kind of decides to put the camera down, and she walks with New Jeans, and she actually participates in the walk, and like, you know, she's actually talking to them and things like that.
Right.
And then they're kind of like talking to her back, you know? And as they keep going, there's something happens, but she has an injury, and she has a cast. Right. Yeah, she has a cast. And all the New Jeans members are like writing on it. So they're like supporting her and like writing on her cast. So it's kind of cool. And then like towards the end of the video, they're all like falling asleep together. It's kind of cute. Like they all fell asleep on a couch, and she wakes up, and you kind of get a flashback of all the scenes, and like New Jeans isn't there. It's just her. It's just her by herself.
Right.
Like she's filming no one. She's like just like looking, she's just holding a camera, and it's like no one there. So then you kind of get this chilly moment that, you know, she was kind of by herself the whole time.
Right.
So it was kind of cool. There is 2 videos to it. There's a side A and side B. Side B is more of it shows more of the side that she's like, it's more of the audience's side, like everyone around her, like her love interest, like looking at her filming, like he's like, what is she doing? Like she's filming no one. And then her classmates see her like filming no one. So it's kind of like that. So this applies to our kind of topic today, because it's more of like, and you can see in the comments too, it's more of like a K-pop like fan and their relationship with K-pop. So as a K-pop fan, maybe
I got a completely different message.
maybe they're like, you know, in the moment, and they're constantly watching New Jeans, but they're not participating in life. They're more into the, you know, New Jeans, the K-pop culture, and they might be removing themselves from whatever like actual is like the reality of the, you know, their actual situation is. But then they use that to get better. Like, you know, she has a cast on. It's like, I don't know if it's symbolism of K-pop is helping her through the trauma, whatever trauma they have. So she like slowly puts down the camera and she slowly gets back into her life. And there's actually a scene where she's walking with her love interest and she put the camera down. So like she slowly gets involved in her own life, you know, instead of being encapsulated with New Jeans. And
right.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, so
I should have rewatched it.
Wait, what message did you get, like, G?
I think I missed a few of the nuanced scenes.
Okay.
Okay, this is what I thought was happening. I watched both of them once, and I didn't want to read the comments because I didn't want it to influence my thoughts of the thing, but I think also with that I missed part of it, so you explaining it did fill in some pieces for me. So this might be a tangent, and then we can go back to what you said. What I thought was happening was it was a kind of like a message about, or I wasn't really sure, but I thought that it was an abstract message about, like, first of all, like, loss of innocence. Like, there was, like, dough imagery, and, like, it was when it showed all these good times with all these other girls, and, you know, they're, like, having all these great memories together. Then she sees a boy, and then her perspective changes, and it shifts from this innocence to kind of, like, this perspective of maybe either self-consciousness or, you know, like human growth of like adjusting to, you know, that puberty sort of feeling
like
of falling in love and sort of, sexual identity, and or like, you know, expanding your conscious to relationships outside of what you know, like a different reality. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was what was going on, because like he was looking at her, she was like playing with other girls, they're like having all this innocent school, like young girl fun. And I remember in one part of the video, they're like looking at her and she's like leaving and they seem like sad. And then also in the beginning and end, she's watching the video. So I interpreted this as either she like realized what happened to her later in life, like she recognized, oh, I grew up and I grew out of this innocence, and she's like reminiscing on it or something like
gotcha.
that.
I mean, so there could be two interpretations of the video.
Yeah,
that I could see both, but I think both is kind of like they are kind of leaning onto something during, like, you know, a crutch, right? James, did you have any like thoughts on, or like, you know, ideas on this?
So if I'm being completely honest, I watched the video. And I didn't have like similar interpretation to you guys.
Okay.
I was just like mesmerized by their dancing and singing.
Oh my gosh.
And then I sort of cheated because I watched some other interpretation videos, which gave me some more insights to work with. And then as I watched the videos again, and you know, those interpretations were similar to what Viet was saying about the girl's perspective is kind of like the K-pop fans' perspective, and how and the audience view, right? And it kind of does make sense, because like for all these K-pops, like, you know, like videos, you see a lot of those fan cam videos that you see on like where there's like fan cam for like this member of this group, and there's like almost like there's like a competition going on with that thing too. So, you know, that it's literal representation of the audience for the K-pop fans to do that with the camera, and they're like filming their idols and stuff like that. And it is interesting because of the whole, like, where the girl moves on with the guy, like, you know, like no longer like filming, but then there's like a scene with the walking away with the guy, and there is a sense where like K-pop idols are forbidden to talk about their dating life, just because, like, in a way that's like the selling point, right? They're like, oh, like, we're for the fans, we're you guys, you know, you guys can have hope and this like fantasy about, you know, like this really good looking and it's like super talented, you know, and super charismatic, like people on TV that like you can fall in love with, you know. And if they become taken, and it's like no longer a thing. And so once they move on from that and they get on with their own life and get into a relationship, they slowly kind of move away from K-pop idols too, right? So I thought that was also interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting that we kind of like all like again, it's like any kind of like art piece or like any type of media. Everyone's going to have a different interpretation of it. And it's kind of cool. Like, everyone brings some sort of meaning to whatever we're, like, analyzing, you know?
I agree.
And I did enjoy watching it, and I think it also speaks to like really good production that we all like have a full interpretation, and it meant something to us in different ways. So it wasn't just like I have no idea what's happening kind of a thing, but not too literal. So
yeah. So, but yeah. So I think the way we kind of wanted to relate it to our podcast and kind of our own personal memories is kind of like how at a certain point, because I would say it definitely K-pop definitely can have an effect on people to kind of work as a crutch in their life, right?
Yeah. We are like introducing this like new format, and I think it's a good idea, like kind of just to see how like culture like influences a lot of us. Like when I first watched this video, I was like, dang, dude, K-pop music video is like, this is like a whole nerd level. I never it's like this
it's like
this song.
the whole package.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, dang, they put a lot of work into it.
I mean, I've watched quite a few K-pop videos in my life. I like this one. I think it has it has a nice theme, because not all K-pop videos have like an exact, maybe like deeper message. They're still good, but yeah.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, so I'll go ahead and start with my memory for a time when I use a crutch for something. And my crutch is straight up like it's funny because my crutch is Taylor Swift. It's similar because it's
Did you
it's
say
like music.
crush or crutch?
I mean, it's a little bit different. It's a crutch. It's crutch. It's a little bit crutch. So I started listening to Taylor Swift like when I was in high school, just as a joke, just to kind of like jokingly say like, oh, I listen to Taylor Swift.
Oh, I love Taylor Swift.
Yeah, because there's this one song. It was Teardrops on My Guitar, and I would just like.
I
I would just make fun of that song because that song was kind of like too sappy. Like, and I would just like kind of like, just joke around at the time. But then like as time went on, I like continually listened to her music. I was like, okay, that's not bad actually. And I just kept listening, and it kind of became part of like my journey. So it's like a stamp, like a timeline stamp. Mm-hmm. Because when I actually recently went to the Taylor Swift concert, the Eras tour, and like watching that tour, it made me kind of just like realize everything I've been through. Like, I went through like, her Fearless album, her debut album. I like every like era that came up, I'm like, oh shoot, I remember this. I remember listening to this song when I was with my first girlfriend, Or I remember this song when I was driving with like Brown or something. Or I remember this when I was, driving with my other brothers, Mm-hmm. So it's just like a roller coaster of emotions. And I use Taylor Swift as a crutch to get through all those hard times and all the good times too. It's just a kind of a like a summary of kind of what I've been through. So that's why I went on the Eras tour, just so I could like kind of like, it's like an era to end all eras, because I feel like I'm going through a growth era. I have to kind of like let go of some part of myself to kind of grow part of myself, like add to myself.
Wait,
I don't know
does
if that makes
you're
sense.
graduating from Taylor Swift now?
Yeah, I'm pretty much.
No, it doesn't have to mean that.
I'm pretty much. I think I'm putting the camera down. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting the camera down. I'm
Is that what it?
Being more involved in life. What? What was that?
Was that the Eras tour for you? Was that like your goodbye to Taylor Swift as well?
It was, because I feel like we're growing apart music wise. But I mean, if there's a good song here and there, I'll still listen to it. But I probably wouldn't follow her as much. It's just so much.
Oh, it's kind of sad. I didn't realize that's what it meant to you.
Yeah, that's what. What was that?
You moving on to Martin Garrix?
Yeah. I'm moving on to Martin Garrix, guys.
I mean,
My new era.
Martin Garrix, but
Sorry about it. Go on.
I'm moving on to EDM. 7 Lions. 7 Lions, dude. Do 7 Lions need an Eras tour? You know what I'm saying? So
he does. He does.
Okay, but back on topic is it's more of just letting go and being present with like what I want in life. So it's good to have all those memories, but then I'm just letting it go. I'm just like letting all my memories go in the sense that I'm good with it. So yeah,
that's cool. Wow, I never thought I would hear from you that you're moving on from Taylor Swift.
I'm moving on. I'm putting the camera down.
He's putting the camera
There's still
down.
room to change your mind. You can still metaphorically let go, but then still enjoy Taylor Swift.
Again,
Follow
it's
her
like
still.
if she has a song that I vibe with, I'm not gonna like, oh no, I can't listen to her anymore. It's more like I'm not going to be like heavily following her or anything like that. It's just like I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
So
that's kind of cool.
Yeah. What about you guys? Do you guys have any like artists that you guys hold dearly to in a sense?
Probably not as like closely tied as like you are. But I will say there's one album that when I went through a breakup in college that I was like, it wasn't a breakup actually. No. It was like a girl that I really liked in college, and like she didn't like me back, and that's when Sam Smith's like album came out.
Oh.
And he's singing all these.
Which song?
Like, I know I'm not the only one.
Somehow I was thinking that already.
And
You
like,
say you love me.
Yeah, and all the songs. And what's that song? The guess again. I'm not good at a one night stand.
Stay with me.
Stay with me. Yeah.
What is Stay with me?
all these songs. I was like in bed, like just like moping around, listening to the album on repeat, and I was just like being depressed as hell. Yeah. That time.
Did this girl like? Were you talking to this girl, or what? Was she just like a crush?
She was just like a crush,
I see.
but she was like in our social group, so like we saw her often, and
gotcha.
had a
that's
huge.
That's way harder.
I had a fat crush on her, but
Yeah.
Like a normal, more than normal, like James crush. Okay.
More than normal James crush.
Okay. All right, gotcha.
It lasted quite a while.
Personal scale.
It lasted quite a while. Like it lasted I think like a year. I think.
It's really, I mean, not really in topic, but it's really hard to let go of someone that's still in your life.
Yeah.
So it's hard to like let go of liking a friend if you guys stay in proximity of each other and still experience a relationship in some way.
Yeah, kind of is. How about you, Leigh? Do you have any artists that you?
Honestly, I think it's similar to you. Well, okay, I think I relate to both of you where I've had artists like come and go, like Taylor Swift was for a bit. I've had been very obsessed, but I think at this moment there is no longer one. Not saying there wouldn't be, but just right now there isn't. Mm-hmm. But then also I definitely relate to just when I am feeling very emotional, I definitely use music to feel my feelings. But yeah, I think that's definitely a widespread feeling that people have. So
there's a guy on YouTube and Instagram that's pretty good.
Are you recommending me so I can be obsessed with someone?
Yeah.
No, okay.
Yeah, I think the name is something like.
You want to give me a crutch? Is
something like JT Music or something like that.
He sounds kind of cool. Where can you link me?
He doesn't have original songs, but he makes pretty good covers. I heard.
Oh, JT, that's kind of, it has a nice ring to it. Okay, I'll check him out. I'll let you know what I think.
Yeah, you guys check him out too. He's kind of
never heard of him.
I think I'm already following him. So,
is he worth it? What do you think?
Yeah, he's pretty worth it. But he gotta be more consistent with it. Sometimes it's just like random. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's
Random
consistent.
uploads.
I have
This
I
feels
have
like a
a
personal
plan.
attack to a stranger, Vit. Why would you say that?
You know, I'm just saying.
He's just a big fan. He wants some more
Oh,
content.
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can
I'm
see
just
that.
a strong supporter.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
sounds like you moved on to JG music from Taylor Swift.
All right. Speaking of JG music, what is your crutch?
So I was really thinking about this, and I think probably the biggest thing in my life has to do with singing. I think, like, I don't know, I've never really thought of it as a crutch before, honestly. Like, I never really thought that I was like really relying on it in my life ever to go through any hard times or anything like that. But then, like, as I was like thinking about, like talking about our discussion and for our podcast, I was like, I actually really did. Like, whenever I went through like a breakups or like really hard times or sad time, I kind of like expressed myself through singing, and all these songs that really like were able to express how I was feeling at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and that's one of the reasons why I really wanted to pursue music, is because like I always valued that sentiments of like when you are going through hard times or good times, or like all these different emotions that you may be having, you can connect with others through this medium of like music, right? Like Viet was, with Taylor Swift and her music, and how her music was a medium for him to kind of have these emotional connection with the artist, so that he can get through this time, So that's why I value, and I still think it's like one of the most, if you are, pursuing music for those reasons, I think it's one of the most beautiful things to do. Which is, yeah, so that's why, like, for me, like, like, I mean, I do like to sing a lot of sad songs, but then if I'm singing like particularly a lot of sad songs, and I'm posting them, that usually means I'm like going through like hard time, or I'm going through a breakup or heartbreak, Like after my last ex, I think like I was singing all these freaking breakup songs and sad songs, and I was just like being hella mopey and emotional.
Sad songs.
Yeah. So, so yeah, that's what it was for me. A lot of the times, and I know a lot of people might not see it, but like, I put a lot of subtleties and meaning to like the songs that I choose and that I post whenever I like, not on Instagram so much, because that's more like, oh, I just want to sing the song. But like when I used to post on YouTube, that was a lot more related to like things that I was feeling at the time, right? So like, for example, like before I went to nursing school, I sang this song, right? And it was a song about, like, the lyrics were about, like life is so difficult, and you're just feeling so down, and you're feeling so like there's no hope, right? But then you just keep living on. You just wake up next day and you just keep moving on. You just go through the next part of your life. And I was singing that song with the mindset of like, like I'm gonna be moving on from my singing, and I'm gonna give up on it, and I'm just gonna go to school and pursue my other career that's like more financially responsible, those kind of things. Of course, like people that just sees the cover probably didn't get that interpretation because they don't know my personal life on that aspect. But then to me, when I look back at that cover, I can feel that emotion, and I can still kind of like rekindle that feeling and emotion that I was going through at the time about, like, I'm just dropping this altogether for now. And so, yeah, I think that's why for me, like, singing is such an emotional, like, crutch that I've used to kind of express and dump and express and those kind of things.
That's good. That's good. Like way to kind of like just let go of emotions. It's funny because me or Lychee and I, we just did a like meditation on letting go of emotions. So it's kind of like very similar way.
Yeah, but
I do have one question. I see what you meant when you like had a cover where you know, metaphorically you were actually letting go and it was a much more deep message in your song. But in terms of like, you know, your covers being your emotional crutch, are you saying that you interpret whenever you use music, do you interpret that as a weakness, or like is that something that you still feel like is something that's hindering you, or did you just mean you were leaning on it?
What do you mean weakness? Like
I guess like I guess when you compare your covers to being that crutch that you had, something you used as a crutch, do you mean it was something that you no longer want to use in that way? Or is it just at the time it felt like that?
No, I still would like to use it that way. I think
Okay.
I think there's beauty in that. And
so you just meant more of like career specifically.
Yeah, as a career. I just wanted to just drop singing and pursue nursing, and
Yeah.
you know. Now I'm cleaning.
I agree.
Now I'm cleaning poop. So
that's not all you're doing, James. It's not all. I mean, it's one thing that you do, yes. Oh, but that's good. I just wanted to check because I think it's the way you express your art. So
yeah, I mean, I think I'll always have that. It's just been such a big part of my life for so long.
I think it's really cool.
I think, with everybody, I think what I see with a lot of people or like friends and stuff, it's like everybody has this like, they have a career, but then like they have a creative outlet. Like even with like this podcast, we just, we're just kind of like doing it for fun, really. And I think it's like a good kind of alley to kind of like let go of your emotions, kind of like express yourself, things like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
But what about you, Lychee? What's your crutch?
Mine is actually pretty much directly related to your interpretation of the New Jeans video that I missed when I watched it. But maybe that means it's no longer a crutch for me because I didn't even realize. But I think I definitely directly relate to that interpretation of the music video with a very similar experience to what you explained. I was really depressed in college and I didn't want to interact with the world, and then I fell into K-pop and I just leaned on it emotionally, just like in almost an entirety. So I was choosing not to interact with people, and I felt like I couldn't have the capacity to do so. And I happened to watch an entertainment program called We Got Married. Oh. It's a virtual.
I know that show.
It's a virtual dating program, which is a concept of these two people, and they're like actors, actresses, whatever, what name you, and they're quote unquote married. So it's like they have a script like they got married, and they're actually acting as a couple, but then they're actually not, which is a whole different subject. Very interesting kind of a show. But there was a guest. There was a singer on the show. Her name is Taeyeon, and maybe some of the viewers, and I'm sure
I love Taeyeon.
One of you guys may know her. And so
Taeyeon.
she was on the show, and I didn't know who she was, and I found her very charming, her personality. And then she was in a girl group, or she is in a girl group called SNSD, and they guested on the show like several times, and I found them very charming and entertaining. So I was very, I was looking for emotional support. So I like lean probably like 100% into them as a group, as like almost like this parasocial relationship where I was friends with them. And so I watched everything they were in, and it really felt like I was hanging out with them, like they were my friends. And I was in that level of, I guess, like thinking or perspective or obsession where like they were I made them my reality. And so yeah, I did that for like quite a long time in college, where they were my like, yeah, social world.
Was it, what other like groups were you into?
Oh my gosh, I mean, it's just a wormhole, because basically
Oh, I see.
Let me tell you
just
about
the culture, just the culture in general.
No. Sorry, no. Let me tell you about this wormhole, because it's like I like almost like, I guess if I see it now, it does sound interesting. Where I almost like built my whole world into like the celebrity world, where I watched everything they were in, and they were very popular, and they were invited to many shows because of their popularity, and also because they, because I think a lot of the public really was charmed by their personalities as well. And I got introduced to like a lot of different K-pop artists, comedians, maybe actors, actresses too, like whoever's on these, mixing in on these shows, because in Korea it's like a very big like industry, like entertainment program. They're called variety shows.
Okay.
And I literally got introduced to like all the active like singers, or not all of them, but a lot of active singers, comedians, actresses at the time. And it was almost like world building, where it was like meeting new friends and like so I like knew a lot of them, and they were like friends to me and or others. So I watched like a lot of different shows, but it was like a world building of like friendship in a, yeah.
Do you think this kind of like prevented you from like building your own world, like saying like meeting like actual friends or so?
I mean, it 100% did, because I spent all of my downtime watching these shows, and
100%.
Like, and I mean, maybe not 100. Maybe I'm just being dramatic. Okay, I did have some friends, and like I went to class and stuff, and my family. But I think I was emotionally not. I did have friends, and there was that happening. So I'm not saying I was fully immersed and not at all in reality. So I was, but I think because of all my mental distractions of just having mental health issues, this was the one that was the most healing to me at the time. But maybe also the one I was the most open to. And but it was a crutch in the way it's like I devoted so much time, energy, and emotion to it. I definitely didn't do that to that level to anyone in my actual life. And it was like a very primary focus. I did a very similar thing to anime when I was in high school, so not the first time around the emotional crush block, but
so this kind of gave you some sort of comfort, right? But then when did you decide, like, oh, this is too much, or I need to do something else, or I need to let go of this? Like, when did you decide that? Like, what was the deciding factor?
I think what it ended up being was seeing kind of like, I did this whole world building. Like I had in my imagination, like I did a lot of world building. I think what ended up why I let it go was I started finding out there would be like, it was a build-up over time. Like, there's always news outlets that follow celebrities, and there would be, like, scandals. And me being obsessed, first of all, with SNSD, they, like, got into scandals. And I saw the thing you discussed earlier of idols being, like, kind of like their reputation being destroyed over dating, I started seeing all these scandals, like over dating, over like a he said, she said kind of thing, like bullying scandals, like all of these things. And it brought a factor of reality into my world where it's like, oh, this is a whole different world. And it kind of like shattered that illusion, because it made me realize there was a lot of dimension and things. I like looked at the really happy side of it, but then when I saw the full, like all the aspects of it, it made it way too real for me, and it really kind of like pushed me
shattered
out of
your fantasy.
Yeah,
it brought you back into reality.
Yeah. When I realized like, wow, it's like it's like their own world, and I have nothing to do with that. And also it's much darker than this happy world that I used it for. So
Oh dang, I didn't even realize that. Yeah, that's crazy. That's a crazy kind of like shattering moment. I feel like you're just like in
Definitely
your
necessary.
K-pop world, and all of a sudden you see this like, oh, dang, there are all these scandals and like it affects like their lives and stuff. Dang, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah. I had a similar one a little bit for Taylor Swift, and it's kind of, that's what happened to me personally for SNSD, but Taylor Swift was all over headlines for years and years and years.
Oh,
honestly, like I absorbed it all, but I honestly didn't think critically about it. It was just like I would always hear about her and her new boyfriends, ooh, drama, like Kanye, blah, blah, blah. And then when she produced her documentary, which I didn't watch, but I heard about, I had a realizing moment where like, wow, I just like fed into that or just listened to it without realizing like how awful and toxic that all was.
Yeah.
And how unfair it was towards her. It's like, you know, it's kind of similar where she was kind of just like not really a real person in that sense to me, where I just heard about these things, but I didn't defend her. I didn't like, I wasn't mad about it or anything like that. But when I saw her point of view, I was like, yeah, that was really messed up. And it, you know, all that's so.
Yeah, it's honestly, I think fame, dude, that is not, I would not want fame. It's just not a good way to live. Because I feel like everyone always has a thought of you, and you have like no saying in what. Like even if you publicly go out and say your thoughts, it's like not everyone's going to interpret it the right way, right? So right. It's just like, and then people are just like constantly gossiping about you, and like it's just so much. And I think even with people with like good publicists, it's just hard.
It's hard.
Yeah.
But it's kind of crazy. We have like 3 memories, and it's all music related.
Yeah.
And I didn't like meant for this to happen, because you know, I just I was like, let's analyze something. Let's analyze a video that's like pop culture, and then let's relate it to our memories. But that's kind of cool how that all like wrapped up and things like that.
Yeah.
You know, speaking like now that we're talking about like K-pop and all that stuff, I just realized this too. I have so you know how we have like bookmark pages on your web browser. So I like to kind of organize them by folders. So I have I have one like for self-improvement. I have one for podcasts. I have one for learning.
That's me too. Yeah.
And then I have I have one that's titled "When I'm in a Bad Mood." When I'm in a bad mood.
I thought it was like a secret folder.
No.
Lychee.
It's called like books, but it's just all K-pop.
No, but then the part it's the folder for like for bad mood is like these like really cute videos that I found like really like adorable or cute from like these girl groups that are like on YouTube and stuff like that I watched. I was like, oh my god, that is so funny, or like that's so like cute, that I've saved actually like to watch when I'm in a bad mood.
So how many times have you used it?
Honestly,
I save it, but I've never used it.
Oh my gosh!
You've never used this folder?
It's a pseudo crutch. It's like a
pseudo crutch.
That's cap. I call it cap. Why would you create a folder and then never use it, James?
I mean,
and you're still adding to the folder.
I made it to use it, but then I forget about that I have it. You know. So.
Wait.
I'll have to take your word for it.
Maybe.
Why do you keep building this folder you're not using, James?
We could remind him. Next time he's in a bad mood, we're just like, hey, use that folder, bro.
Use that folder.
How many videos do you have in there?
It's not a lot. I have 7.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's not a lot.
Oh, that's not much at all.
But then like mine's like all the new like current like the like modern K-pop idols,
like Blackpink,
Le Sserafim and all that stuff. A lot of Le Sserafim, just because I've been following some of the members even like before they were Le Sserafim.
Let's see. Wait, James, would you say you use K-pop as a crutch too, or no? Not really.
Not really.
I see.
I think there's like 3 things that gets me to watch K-pop stuff. I think one is like I think I just genuinely enjoy the music.
Okay.
Number 2, I think they're just really good entertainment in terms of like visuals and like their marketing.
I
And
thought
all
you were
that
gonna say
stuff.
good looking.
And they're good looking. Yeah, they're really good looking.
I think they're just really good looking.
They're
so
really good looking too.
looking.
But that's part of the marketing process that they have.
Yeah.
It's very purposeful. But I appreciate it. And then number 3, I think is because I'm Korean. There's like a little bit of K pride. I think that plays into it.
Yeah, the K pride.
There's a little bit of K pride. Not gonna lie, there's a bit of K pride. Like that's my people.
That's my country.
But it's like but I don't know. I know it's not for everyone, but I think good entertainment. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people around the world would agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah. Did you guys have anything else to add or anything like that?
That's about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I talked about Taylor Swift being my crutch. James talked about being, singing with his like career focus and shifting that. And then Lychee talked about K-pop, and it's all kind of related to music. That was really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good episode. I think. What do you guys think of the structure?
I think I like it.
Yeah, it ties everything together.
It kind of ties. Yeah, it kind of ties it together. Yeah.
Mm.
I think it's like more of I think this is what we needed, like more of a glue, something that holds everything. So I think it kind of like adds a little bit of spice to it.
Yeah,
so that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you found a good like source video where it's directly related to the topic.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Speaking of spice, maybe like we should do a spicy episode next time.
Okay.
Spicy.
You know who we need for that, right?
We know who we need for that.
You know who we...
I know who we need for
M
that.
for rated mature.
No, M for someone else.
Yeah, M for someone else.
I think that's what I'm trying to allude to.
All right, that's a little bit of foreshadowing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, so then you're spilling to me who your next guest is. That's what I'm hearing.
Well, we'll see.
That's M for maybe, you know what I'm saying?
Did you maybe ask M yet? Or
you know. Or I think M is always down. I'm just saying.
M is
How
always
come
down.
you might need the spicy
I mean, we could have.
We could have you.
We could have MN. We could have MNL. You know what I'm saying?
MNL. Yeah. We could have the whole alphabet.
But yeah, Lychee, thank you again for being a part of this episode, especially with the new structure. I think it really fit. Thank you for
thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah, I think it fit the whole topic a lot, especially with your memory too. It was like spot on. So
I enjoyed hearing your guys' as well.
Yeah,
and I have performance pressure to be invited back.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Okay.
So yeah, we are the Memory Club Podcasts. We are on all the socials like TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Follow us if you want to support us. We do post like updates here and there. We're moving to a every month structure with this, just so we could have a little bit more time to analyze like whatever pop culture media we are going to analyze.
Yeah. And
yeah, I'm Vit.
And I'm James.
And I'm Lychee.
Our intro music was produced by Nightwave.